Um, okay. So welcome to our October 8th Mind Body experience. Tehilla and I are happy that everybody's here and everybody's joining us today for this. And some of you we know, some of you we don't know, or I don't even know who I don't know because I don't even see faces, but but the intention for today is we're going to be talking about and working with the body, the mind and the body and the mind-body connection. Sorry. And so the intention is really to focus and to use the body as a tool to understand and to give insight and information to ourselves so we can tap into our bodies and look at our patterns and ultimately use our body to give us more information about what's going on with our bodies, with our souls, with our families, with our environment, and connect the mind to the body, to the emotional, energetic, and physical body. And so that's the intention, using meditation, using energy work, and then we'll be answering questions as well for a little bit. Tehilla and I have different skills, but we're both intuitive. And so we can, I'll explain a little bit and introduce her, and then she can explain what she does. I'm an empath, and so I feel and see energy in the body and illness and past lives, and I feel it. Oftentimes, for those of you who have had sessions with me for the past 15 years, I've been feeling what other people were feeling and tapping into that and using my body almost as a guide to tap into what other people are feeling and sensing. And I help clear patterns and beliefs and see what's going on within the body as as it shows up in my body. I kind of get information, and that's how I can clear it. And so Tehilla has different skills. She's a homeopath for like 20 years, and also has intuitive gifts and abilities and different awarenesses, and uses energy and insight and information to hear and see and clear things that are within the body as well. And so we kind of both work with our own gifts and with each other to help people connect to themselves and feel into your body, to feel good within your body. And that's really the goal. The goal is to recognize that our body is a divine tool and a divine vessel. And when we tap into our body and listen to our body's wisdom, we can connect to ourselves and connect to the divine and feel good. And so that's the intention for today. So that's a little bit about me. Tehilla, did you want to add anything about that or anything that I missed for this part? Sorry.
I was just thinking how happy I am to be doing this with you. Today even more so, because it was so ironic that we were talking about doing this mind body event, and I feel like my body is completely scattered. And I'm like thinking, is this hormonal? Is this like the collective thing? What's going on in Israel? Is it my own thing? Is it my kids? So I'm like, trying very hard to focus. So it's great to have Jodi. And I understand, and like everything in this world, everything's interconnected. So there's a lesson there. And I'm also going to observe that as I've been observing myself and observing it as we work. Because there's always a reason for everything, and nothing happens just by chance. The way I work, I use my eyelids and my hands. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be working also on your energy fields. Our bodies have energy fields. Everything has energy fields, whether it's, I'm repeating the explanation for whoever hasn't heard it in the past, or just refreshing it for whoever has. So everything has energy fields, whether it's a person, a plant, a relationship, a bank account, a business. And these energy fields, they nurture and support their subjects. If these energy fields, if there's a problem with the energy field, that's when we see that problem reflected in either in the person or in the plant or in the business. The business is losing money, relationships go on the risk. And it all starts with the energy fields. So what I do first, I'll work on your energy fields. Also aligning everyone's energies. And we'll be doing energy work, and later on a meditation, and we'll just see where this takes us, because the way we do this is part of the passion project, and the way we do the passion project is that we just try to be open and receive guidance as we go along as to what the events are, the subject of the events, what goes on in the event. Everything sort of channeled. We sit and we just let it come through us. So we'll just see what comes through us today.
Thanks. And because when we were discussing this event, I think we thought first before Yom Kippur, we were going to be doing a Yom Kippur, and we were thinking about different ways of forgiveness or different things. And then this kind of happened. And literally this mind body event kind of happened, that this is something that we were supposed to be doing on this day. And the intention for that is really to gain understanding and connection with our bodies and recognize that our bodies are here to help us and here to support us. And it's not about thinking about what we're not doing or what we did wrong or how our bodies weren't serving us, or the shame and the guilt and the fear and all these things before Yom Kippur. It's actually about recognizing and tapping into our bodies to allow for compassion and for self-love and for love, and to allow ourselves to recognize that when we're connected to ourselves and connected to God, there's a real beautiful flow and divine wisdom that comes into ourselves. And if we lead from a space of that, from a space of opening ourselves up and recognizing that anything that was, or anything that we've held, whether it's ancestral or karmic or past life or anything that's been going on with us, it actually allows, we've recognized that there's an opportunity to clear and to heal in a very effortless way. And it's really beautiful, and it doesn't involve a lot of guilt or shame or fear or abuse or any type of things like that. It actually just involves a lot of love and self-love and compassion. And so that's kind of like the intention as we work through this today, through the meditation and through the energy work. The intention is to notice how things are able to come up and how we want to just bring awareness to those things. And we don't necessarily want to go, we want to clear them, meaning we don't want to go into a space of things that don't serve us. We want to recognize that anything that we did at any point in the past, it was actually crucial or important for our survival, or for our taking the next step in our life, or that's what we needed to do at that time. And so there's actually, we kind of want to stay out of lower vibrations and things that don't serve us, because we want to move into a space of moving forward and of love. And so in order to do that, we need to recognize that we have to have compassion for what was in the past. And we need to recognize that anything that happened was important for us, for our development, for our healing, for our lives, in order to move forward. And so we're going to, before we start with the meditation, we're just going to do a few minutes of just kind of like energy work. And then we're going to go into a meditation just to kind of like tap into ourselves. And the meditation is also about tapping into yourselves, a little bit about tapping into the collective might come up, and then clearing all of those things and noticing and just really being aware of what we're feeling, what's going on with us, what's going on with other people, and really moving into a space of love and light in order to heal and move forward. So before we do that, we're just going to kind of look at energy. And Tehilla, do you want to, like, I can kind of start and then do energy?
I just want to say, because this something just came up, I think it's very important that we realize that our bodies are not against us, okay? They're actually for us. So when we're not feeling well, it's our body is trying to actually draw our attention to something that needs to be attended to, okay? So some people have the tendency to think that in order to be spiritual, you have to disconnect from the body, but it's the exact opposite, especially in the Judaism. It's all about connecting to the getting grounded, connecting to the material world, and through the material world, that's how you connect to spirituality. So the more connected and aware we are of our bodies, and the more respectful we are of our bodies, and the more attentive we are to our physical needs, that enables our bodies to be stronger and purer vessels in order to contain the spiritual light. So the whole idea is to reconnect to the body from a very tender and kind, compassionate way, and listen to it. And from there, we'll actually get answers to how we can grow and evolve spiritually.
Thanks. That's I'm like, yes, because it's true. It's true. No, it's true. And we forget that because we think that either on purpose, we like make ourselves feel bad, or we're like, I'm not doing this or this is that, but we know what we need and we know what feels good. And so we really have to tap into that and connect to that and respect ourselves and our bodies and our awareness. And that's exactly what we need to do in order to really connect to ourselves and love ourselves and then move on into a space of love and compassion. So yeah, thank you. Okay, so energy work. So Tehilla is going to be doing energy work, and you're going to be, the goal for this is to kind of be aware, if you can, of the energy work as it prepares us for a meditation space. And so in order to do this, the way that I always like to start is just by noticing again, so we're energy and we are energy. We have energy running through us always. And we can actually manipulate energy when we recognize that we are connected to energy. And so one way to do this is, sometimes we might, go into a room and scream. That's an expulsion of energy, right? Or laughing is kind of like a release of energy, or crying is a release of energy. So the real goal is to be aware of how to manage our energy in an effective way. Noticing our energy fields, noticing how to do that is important. But first, being aware of energy is important. So I want everybody to kind of take your hands together right now and just rub them together. And recognize that what you're doing is you're taking energy from each palm, energy from within your own body, and you're actually moving it and creating friction. And as you're doing that, you're creating heat and friction, and you might kind of feel something within your palms, obviously something physical. But now what we're going to do is we're going to stop rubbing our hands physically together, and we're just going to feel the energy that's in between our palms. And so you might feel a tingling, you might feel a heat, you might feel something in between your palms, and you can almost move your palms a little bit further out. You can close your eyes if you want in order to feel that. And you can open your palms, close your palms, feel a little bit. And that's energy, actually, that you've created or that you've kind of contained within a space that's in between your palms. And so we can play around with energy. We can make it smaller, we can make it bigger. That's why sometimes if your kids hurt themselves or if you hurt yourself, might be the best thing to do is to kind of put your hand on the space that you hurt and then send energy into that space, because energy is actually real. And so what Tehilla is going to do is she's going to help guide us through understanding how that energy works within ourselves right before we start this meditation. So do you want to?
Thanks.
Thank
okay,
you.
So what I'm going to do, I want to align all our energies together. So, and I'll be clearing and doing things as Jodi guides the meditation. What I want to start with is energy fields that not only nurture and protect us, but they also provide us with a great source of information. So the more information we have and receive from our environment, we can actually make better choices. So the more aware we are of our energy fields, the better. And from my experience, it's something that takes practice. So I'm going to be doing energy work. Some of you who have felt it in the past, have experienced it in the past, know what I'm going to be doing. As I always do, I always encourage you first to use your eyes, your vision as feedback to see, say if I move my hand up and down, see if you can feel that. And once you can actually feel that, you can just close your eyes and relax into it. But first, it's just good to see what I'm doing and see if you can kind of search for the sensation in your body until you learn to recognize it and become more and more aware of it. As we do the work, we do different events and workshops where we continually practice awareness of these energy fields, because it's something that needs constant maintenance, and it's just a skill that's great to have. So I'm going to start just doing all this work and just try to feel into it and relax into it. Once you, like I said, once you start feeling what I do, you can just close your eyes and Jodi will start the meditation. Great, so things are starting to kind of slow down. Good. How's that looking, Jodi?
That looks good.
Yeah, it was quite fast this time. Okay, so let's just a little bit.
Notice how you're feeling. Notice if your pulse starts to slow, if your blood pressure starts to slow, if you start to feel more comfortable in your chair, if you start to notice your breathing, just basic things of your own body that feel like they might be starting to slow within your body. And just give yourself time. This meditation's, 10 or 15 minutes, and just give yourself in your mind this time, as long as you hear my voice speaking, that you're kind of creating like a door, and you're saying, I'm locking myself in this space where I'm allowing myself to surrender to this experience. And it's an experience of relaxing. It's relaxing into your body, of trusting this space, this energetic space, this emotional space.
So see if you can feel like a gentle pulse against your chest. Good, I think we're good.
Thanks. So we're just going to take, as everybody's relaxed, just take a moment to take a few deep breaths. We're going to inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And with every inhale, you're tapped into remembering and reminding yourself of the essence of ease of breath. Just flows. You don't have to force breath in. You don't have to push breath out. It's just effortless in the way that when your body is ready to take an inhale, it inhales. And as it's ready to release, you can release the air and the oxygen, the carbon dioxide that's stored in your body, and release what's no longer needed out. And it's this gentle inhale and exhale that's within your body that allows you to find flow and pause and connection. And you might feel total relaxation within your body, almost as if you feel your jaw start to relax, your arms, your shoulders, the top of your head, any body parts that's holding tension or stress. You might find yourself relaxing as you let all of the stress go. Anything that you've been holding for yourself, for your family, for the collective, anything that's been put on you either by choice or because you thought that you were doing something that was necessary or on purpose or accidental, anything that was yours, anything that was somebody else's, anything that you decided to hold on for yourself, you can now imagine yourself releasing. And releasing doesn't mean that you did anything wrong or anything bad. Releasing just means that you're not carrying the heaviness anymore. You're saying that anything that's mine, that's someone else's, that I took on, any promises, any issues, any fears, any concerns, any responsibilities, anything that's heavy for me, I'm choosing to let go of. Because I don't need to carry that in my body anymore. My body deserves ease and freedom and love. Because each one of us are vessels and containers that are capable of holding love and light. And if we hold darkness, and if we hold fear or density or things that no longer serve us, we're not actually allowing room for the light to come into our bodies. And so as we release everything, all of the things that we've thought of, done, connected to, that are hurtful, harmful, shameful, as we release all of those things, we're allowing more light to come into our bodies. And take a moment and watch as dark spaces, they might look like darker colors, darker energies that are heavy within your body, are starting to release and be let go of. As you breathe light and breathe breath into those spaces, recognize how the heaviness just wants to fall away And as it falls away, it clears and releases down into the earth where Mother Nature, divine source, divine light is able to clean it and cleanse it and purify it in a way that you can't. So all the heavy things get taken and cleared and cleaned away and then get sent back to the person who needs them the most. The energy that's now cleared. And you get to fill your space with love and light and peace. And imagine now that at the top of your head, you're going to have a giant sun. And you're going to fill this beautiful golden sun with all the things that you love for yourself. Love and light and hope and peace and calm and inner peace and forgiveness and self-care and hope and ease and health and healing, all of the good things that you deserve. And as you're filling this golden sun atop of your head with these beautiful things of love and light, things that you want to give to yourself, things that you want God to give to you, divine source that is the abundance of all things, the sun is getting bigger and bigger above the top of your head. You know, feel it so bright at the top of your head. And it's hovering right there. As your body is releasing all of the things that no longer serve you, all the darkness is clearing and releasing from the top of your head, your eyes, your mouth, your jaw, your shoulders, your chin, your chest, your lungs, your heart, as that darkness or heaviness is moving away. Going down and pulling at the bottom of your feet, down to the center of the earth. You now are watching this beautiful golden sun that's at the top of your head. Your face is starting to feel bright and glowing and connected to all of the joy and the ease and the abundance and the good that's going to be given to you from the top of the sun. And now you want to imagine that you can pop that golden sun and all of the goodness is for you. It's going into your head, behind your eyes. It's removing and dissolving any pressure, any fear, any worries, anything that no longer serves you. It's almost as if your body, your cells, your organs are drinking in all of that goodness, receiving all of that goodness, the love, the hope, the compassion, healing, the abundance that's provided for you from the head, behind the eyes, the throat, the lungs, the chest, the heart, anything that's been closed or blocked or worried, you're going to allow those things to clear away and feel the warmth and the glow and the ease of this beautiful sun filling your body and filling your space. How does it look? How does it feel? Is it more of an orange, more of a yellow, more of a white light? Find the exact color and the exact vibration of what you need. And watch as it fills your whole body. And just be aware of your body right now in this space. Now your body in this beautiful white light has something so important to tell you. It might be a message, it might be an image, something you might still be holding on to, or something that you need to clear and let go of. Right now, at some point in your body, one of your body parts might call out that it might need attention. Notice that from a space of love. You might feel a pulsing or a throbbing or an aching or an attention. You might see something or feel something in your body that's saying, look at me. And this is your body that's now filled with love and compassion that's pointing out something to you to pay attention to. Might be a quickening of a heartbeat. It might be something. And ask your body right now, what do you need to know? And take a moment to notice how there's no fear, no shame. There's just love. Your body is here to give you messages and give you guidance. So take a moment and see if there's anything that's still in your body that doesn't feel good. And notice what that is. Take a moment and look at it. Take a couple of deep breaths. Imagine coming from a space of love and compassion, seeking answers, support, knowing that what your body just shared with you is something you need to know for your journey. Work on, to work through, to look at, to heal. So thank your body for bringing awareness to an issue. And when you're ready, if you can let it go or hold on to it. When you're ready, take another deep breath in and exhale, and inhale and exhale, filling your body with beautiful white light once again. Imagining yourself in a beautiful energy bubble all around you. Filling your space up with beautiful golden light and love and healing. With every breath, you're inhaling into your emotional, your physical, and your energy body, everything that you need. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So, welcome back to everybody. If you want to take a minute to think about what you just saw or felt, either you can write it or just think about it, because your body just gave you some information. Because we went through and cleared some things that weren't ours. Thank you, Tehilla, for doing all this clearing work, which is not super easy. Makes my job much easier. But
Thank you.
yeah. And just be aware if there's anything that came up for you. Might be something physical, something emotional. You might have had a thought, a worry, a concern, a picture. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at some of the things that are going on with you, either things that you noticed, questions that you have, and give you some intuitive guidance and support around that. So it's really amazing because
Thank you.
yeah. So what's really amazing is and we're going to look at that in a minute, but what we've been taught to do in the world is to kind of ignore those things. And what we want to do is we kind of want to show you the opposite, which is if something hurts, it's not just about ignoring it or taking Tylenol or forgetting about it. It's actually a message that your body is here to show you and to give you information about. So let me just one thing before we do this. So there are people who are really, so there's a lot of information about this. Like Louise Hay has this great book called You Can Heal Your Life. And there's all these things that have been written around like understanding the right side is this, the left side is this, like almost like a map, like a body map for like a decade. And because I'm not so into listening to what other people tell me it's supposed to be, I'm like, no, I don't want to listen to any of those tools. And I just would close my eyes and say, okay, it's this right shoulder, it keeps hurting, or the stomach, it keeps hurting. And inevitably it was linked to sometimes very similar things that were found for everybody, but sometimes it was also specific incidences from this lifetime, things that happened in childhood, things that are from past lifetimes, ancestral trauma, like all sorts of things that have been holding, that we have been holding. And so for thousands of healings, all I would do was looking at the body, reading the body, looking at the body, reading the body. Your left shoulder hurts from this, your stomach hurts like this, your left side. And so that's really what I would do, is I would feel it and connect and tell people kind of like what that's related to. Once you feel it and once you see it and once you acknowledge it, then the energy starts to move into it and we can begin clearing and healing. So the most important thing actually all the time is to bring awareness to something. If you're ignoring it or you're not paying attention to it, then you're not going to be able to heal from it. So Tehilla, do you want to add anything?
Yeah,
there's a lot
especially, and the thing about the body is, and everything in life, whatever you try to ignore becomes amplified. So it's better to be aware of things when they're subtle, and because the more you ignore something, it's like a child, you know, he tries to talk to you, you start with a whisper, but if you don't listen to him and you don't pay attention, he's going to start screaming. So the same thing happens with the body. It starts with these little signs and signals, and if we ignore them, these signals and signs become more louder and situations become more serious and more severe. So what we want to do, we want to be actually nipping things in the bud. so we want to be, as soon as we hear something, that the more something, the new something is, the more subtle, the more dynamic it is. Meaning that it's less, it's more dynamic means that it's much easier to work with. It's easier to, we pay attention to someone, we can clear it much faster. But the more things become like calcified and things become more serious, and it takes much more effort and much more work to actually heal and cure. So that's just something to be aware of.
Yeah, perfect. So we're gonna kind of call, so if you want to either no particular order, but some particular order. I don't know, Tehilla, you can like maybe you want to be in charge.
Yeah, I'll just see, you know, when we talk now, this, it's also important to understand that you're all here for a reason, okay? And issues that one person will bring up are most likely also relevant to you. So if we work on, when we work on, it might seem like we're working on one specific person, but we're actually working on that person, and it reflects on you and it reflects on the entire collective, because we're all connected to the collective, and in this space we're even more connected. So it's all about vibration. So when we actually manage to, I'd say, heal a certain problem or certain, or raise a certain vibration, that will also touch that part within yourself which also needs healing and needs sort of that extra tweaking. So as you listen and watch us work on someone else, I also recommend that you also look on your look at yourself and see how that mirrors for you. Okay, so let's start with Stacy.
Thank you so much. That was great. I had a question. So I don't have like one particular area of my body. I actually found that like when during the meditation, I kept like cracking my hands and like my neck. I felt like all of my joints like just like needed to had like air stuck in there, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
I tried to even focus on one particular area, but I actually couldn't stop moving my joints.
Yeah. Okay. I'll start clearing, and I'll start, and Jodi will also say what she sees, but let me just start clearing you a bit. Okay. So what happens is, like, what I see, the whole thing about the joints is like, that's like tension that needs to be released, right? So when you're cracking the joints, you're releasing tension, because I see things tend to build up, and especially for you, you tend to sort of hold things inside, especially in your chest, in your heart area, and you don't express yourself. You don't express anger, discomfort, like inconvenience. Sort of you have a tendency to try to please other people at your own expense. So what I want to do is also, I want to open the heart center, the throat center, which is all about expression, and connect that to the heart. Because what happens, you're holding, and it's like, this is holding. So, and then you want to just release it with a certain amount of force, but that's the force that you use to sort of hold yourself in. It always has to be the same amount of force that you use to close yourself down, is the force that you also have to use in order to open yourself up, right?
Yeah.
So that's why there's so much restlessness and discomfort, because you just closing yourself in more and more. So let me just see what's that related to. That's related to the way you were raised, your mom, past lives. Yeah, how's that looking, Jodi?
So you have to connect.
Yeah, let me just.
Better,
Yeah,
but-
yeah, I can see. Yeah, now.
That's better.
It's a root center. It's all root centered,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do the root center. Can you explain the root center?
Yeah, so it's all about, oh, sorry, there's a lawnmower outside my window. Speaking about the grass, and they're cutting the grass in the root center. Literally, there's like a guy in the, so it's all about, the root is all about safety, security, and trust. And so often we're not allowing ourselves to tap into our own selves, like what we need, or we please other people because we were told, or we believe that, like, if we don't make, in this case, like if we don't make our needs, hold on, like lawnmower. If we don't make our needs like clear for you, in your case, it's almost as if you were so afraid to like really ground down and tap into what you need and what you need the most. And so you kept a lot of things up here in this kind of like open sort of way. And so you have to be very mindful. The best way to clear this or to heal this is think about what you want. And this is actually applicable for everybody. It's about, what is it that I want the most? Well, I want to feel safety, security, trust. And so for you to remember that you're always anchored into the ground and always connected to something that's like much more that's strong, like you're always anchored in the ground, and you always have an awareness that goes above your head, which is what you want, and which is also about your higher self. And you're always being given from God, and you're always being anchored into the ground. And so this whole idea is about, you don't have to be worried about what you're going to say or how it's going to come out or what you're going to say to people, or if whether or not other people are going to be taking away things from you, because you are almost like nurturing or gaining nurturing and nourishment and support from something deep within you and something from above you. Does that's
Yeah,
what it looks
that
like.
all really resonates. Yeah.
Yeah, so good. I'm so happy. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. And that
Great.
energy looked good too. That's
I felt actually right before you said what Tehilla said about my chest, I actually felt it in my chest.
And how does it feel now?
It feels much better. And actually my hands actually feel much more open. I like feel
Great.
like a lightness in them.
That's great. It's going to take I see it's a kind of 2-week process. Okay, so just be very kind and very aware, and just know that patterns and habits take work in order to to change and heal. And that's why we also try to do all these other things you know, to help you do that. But these things are very deeply ingrained in your case. So just now that you're aware of it, you might feel resentful towards yourself. And that's why I'm saying, because you're aware of it, be
Yeah.
kind to yourself and just realize that, you know, it takes a while. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Thank you so much. That was great. I appreciate it.
you're welcome.
Thanks.
Okay. iPhone 117. What's that? Who is that? One
It's
the
me.
no, but that's
Hello.
I mean iPhone 170.
I
Hi,
think
That's
that's me. Is that me? I'm
yeah, that's
Mariella.
I think
yeah.
it's me. My name is Esther.
As
Okay. iPhone 170. I just see that iPhone 170 needs work. So
Yeah. Do you
can
need
you
my
turn
video
the
to be on?
yeah, that would be great.
Okay,
Thanks.
perfect. I'm just like in bed because I'm like not feeling the best today. So this is perfect to have this clearing today specifically. But what I did notice as I was doing the meditation, I noticed that my eye started twitching.
Left or right?
Right.
Okay. Let's see what's going on. There's just so much more than what there's just so it's like okay, so you're aware maybe of 5% of what's actually is going on. There's so much going on below the surface, which you're afraid to look at. Why is that? Let me see. Past life things.
not her fault. A lot of it is not her fault. It's like something that was placed on her, or there's a fear thing. So
Yeah.
there's fear and there's some past life thing, but there's something actually that was placed on her in order so that she isn't aware of things, so that she would need to feel to be unaware.
Okay. It's okay. It's a defense mechanism, right? So we have
Right.
that. But I don't want to move it. No, it has to. It's actually serving. I'm sorry, we're talking to you. You know, we're talking about you, but I have to just discuss it with Jodi. So it's actually serving her. So we have to strengthen something before we remove the defense mechanism or do something there. Can you see?
Yeah, yeah, where the
like-
information, where her own, where it's coming from, like her own strength, like inner, something within herself. Where's this, like, where's her own,
Yeah.
where's it
Okay.
coming from? Like, where's her own anchoring? It's not about anchoring. It's about something within herself.
It's like, no, if we remove the defense mechanism, it's like this huge like floodgate of
Yeah.
pain.
No,
So
I see that, but I'm saying that there has to be something, hold on.
yeah, but so we have let's just look at the pain a sec. What, you know, just a sec. Where's that coming from? Maybe we can, if we can treat the source of the pain, then it would be better. Let me see, that's past lives. Okay.
But yeah, I see.
You've got the kidneys. Let me do the kidneys. Okay. Oh, this is a heavy. Okay, I'm doing the whole pelvic area.
That looks, yeah.
Grounding. Okay, so first we'll do, again, it's the root. So we're grounding. So we'll give security, and then once we have the security, we'll be able to remove the defense mechanism.
It's because she's never allowed, you were never allowed to feel, so it's a past life thing, but it's a narrative, right? So we live in narrative. So the narrative is that every time you started to feel, you believed that you were somehow going to be okay. There was something that showed up from somebody else where you felt like somebody else was either in charge, or something else was going on where you felt like you had to lose your own sense of control and power and ability to tap into yourself. And so there was a fear. It's like the safety, security, support for yourself. And you're afraid to believe in yourself, because what happens you know, you believe in yourself and then all of a sudden it's disappointing again, that would be so shocking to the heart and to, you know, your whole nervous system. So that's what,
Okay. How's that looking? I think, can we remove the defense mechanism now? Yeah, I think we can, right?
looks better. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So
that
now it
up.
looks like, yeah. Yeah, because now it
No.
looks like you're tapped into something that's bigger than yourself. Before you were feeling responsible and afraid. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like there was a
Yeah.
responsibility. Yeah. Yeah.
I need you to take like 3 deep breaths just to open up the whole thing. So there's flow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And remember that you're tapping into something like when we were doing the meditation, you're tapping into the breath that's around you and like all of the molecules of air and oxygen and everything that your body needs, like it's available to you. So there's no constriction or restriction.
So there's this numbness, which is also sort of a defense mechanism, but I'm going to leave that one because that's, you know, too much for one, you know, for one session. So I'm going to leave the numbness, but there is a numbness there. Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, that looks much better. But now, so now you can think about, like, I want you to think about you, Tila, or her, or something around like, what is it that you either want to receive or something that it's almost like a gift that you're giving yourself. Like there has to be in place there, something where there's acknowledgement or a connection or self or love or a gift. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because she doesn't know what, like now it's open, but like now what? Like there has to be,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay, something positive, like the void. So we have to put something
yes,
positive in the
exactly.
void. Right.
Exactly.
Okay, so
So
okay,
yeah, so it has to be something that you're think about either something, not like something that you love because you don't know, it's a new pattern, it's something new.
yeah.
It's something new that you're going to see that you're going to create or you're going to bring into your life, something that there's something that's going to come in that you're going to take in and say, oh, this is something that I'm going to integrate, that's something new that I didn't recognize is going to provide much like joy.
So listen, what I'm seeing is that because I asked myself, what does she want the most? And what I got was that she actually wants the most to be held. So can we do something
Wow.
about that?
How does that sounds good. You want the most, I mean, sounds good. So, okay, yeah.
Okay. Can we create that sensation? Yeah, great, we can. Let's do that then. Okay, how's that feeling?
So you can imagine
So,
closing your eyes if you want, and just like taking a deep breath and tapping into that feeling. And even if other people around kind of want to have that intention that you're providing warmth and love and that idea of being held, almost like forming a circle around her and around like a kind of love, giving love, and that idea of being held. So even if everybody wants to think about that time where you have felt held in your life, or maybe holding somebody else and that feeling of nurturing and comfort and support, and it's sharing that space and creating almost like a foundation. That's what we're doing in this space now. So just like Tila and I could do it, like actually all of us can do that too, and kind of send that frequency or that vibration of being held. So that's a vibration that's kind of being broadcast, so to speak, in this space right now. So even other people, whether you're participating or you're giving it, might even start to feel a sense of feeling held. So feel it in your lower back and your legs and your body as you kind of like relax and take a deep breath into it. So that's actually good for everybody.
yeah, that's looking much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel?
I feel a lot more supported, and the word that came up for me was peace.
Great.
So that's good. Is there anything I should do going forward, like out of this?
No, just relax into it. Like your tendency is always like, what else should I do? What else should I do? So let's just break that pattern. Just just relax into it, just be held, let yourself be held and support them, and just trust that whatever you need to do will come up and will actually come from within you. So you won't actually move it, you won't even feel like you need to do it, you just do it because you want to do it. So it will come from a completely different place.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. Jacqueline.
Good morning.
Hi, Jen.
Thank you for
Hi.
all this. During the meditation, well, beforehand, my eye, it's funny because my right eye has been twitching for 3 weeks. And when you were working first on Stacy, because I have a lot of stomach issues with bloatation and pain and gas, it calmed my stomach a little bit. But it felt like some of my eyelid came forward, and also my stomach was boiling, and something was telling me move from hurt to happy.
Oh,
I didn't understand the
so there was pain, and now, Jacqueline, is there less pain? Because you said from hurt to
It's just something. These words came from hurt, and then from like move from hurt to happy.
happy.
Ah.
Yes. But it's just my main issue is my stomach.
Yeah, okay, let me just see. Your main issue is in your stomach. Something else. What is it? Stomach. Emotional.
I feel it in the chest.
Pardon?
I feel it in the chest, like a beat it, like
Yeah.
as the heart.
It's the whole thing. It's like not being able. What I see is the whole issue is not being able to accept your emotions. So, which interesting, the stomach, the whole thing about being able to digest. So, but it's not being able to accept your emotions and acknowledge them, which is a big thing and that's because of embarrassment, and self-judgment. So basically, you're not allowing yourself to experience the emotions. And because it's like a balloon, when you press a balloon on one side, it has to come out on, somewhere, then it comes out. So you feel it in the chest and in the stomach, but it's because you're not allowing room for your emotions, because you're judging your emotions. And the whole thing about emotions is motion. It creates motion. Once we make room for it, it allows for motion and flow. And usually when we have an emotion and we resist it, actually, when we resist an emotion, we're just making sure that it's going to stay for longer. So the more we actually accept an emotion, then we release it much faster. So I'm just sharing that that's something that you need to hear, because hearing wise, no, it's more being aware of the pattern, which is resisting the emotion. So that's what I'm seeing. Jodi?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And it's this constant awareness around, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I know, this is what I'm seeing, what maybe there's a what can I do about it, or what could I write about it, or how can I validate this for myself? And patterns, sometimes we talk about energy work all the time, and it's like, we clear things and we help you clear things and you can clear things and all these different things. But at the end of the day, we're souls and bodies. And so we have to constantly be aware of our body. And if we're feeling something, some sort of dis-ease, discomfort in our body, then there's something that our body is trying to tell us. And so this emotional thing, I feel it in the chest. And now I feel a little bit of like when your stomach is churning, and I feel it a little bit like I want to say something, but like I can't say what I want to say. So it's this constant loop, right? It's like the heart being anxious to the stomach being nervous, back to the heart being, and so there's this constant like back forth, up and down thing that's in a loop, that's a pattern. So in order to release that, there has to be a release somehow. So the way to release it might not be energetically, it might be physically changing a pattern, changing a habit, changing speech, changing a behavior, things like that, and letting go in order for something to clear and shift. And that's how we work through things on a very physical, somatic level. So that's
what do you mean by feeling my emotions?
I didn't.
What do you mean by feeling
heard
them?
the question.
What were you saying about feeling my emotions? How? That confused.
What I meant was creating room for your emotions, acknowledging them and not resisting them, just agreeing to be in that place, let the emotion come up, just observe it without judging it. And the more you just let it be, the faster the emotion will create motion and just move on. And it will enable you to release the emotion.
You know, it's like when my kids were little, I took my son to the zoo and we bought him an ice cream cone and he was 3 years old and a duck ate the ice cream off the top of the cone. He was like little himself and the duck literally waddled up to him and ate the ice cream. And his face, he couldn't even breathe. He was like, oh, like he was stuck in this like he couldn't breathe, he couldn't move, he was little himself. And then I said to him, oh no, like you must be feeling, and I named a whole list, right, of emotions that he probably didn't have, but somehow the resonance of the words that held a certain frequency and emotion, angry, disappointed, frustrated, mad, whatever the words were. And then once I labeled all these words, he was able to cry. He cried, and crying is and yell, and those are the right emotions, right? Because holding it in your heart of shock, that's not the right thing to do. And so oftentimes when you validate it or see it and hold space for it, then you're able to let it go, and the emotion kind of it goes through this emotional wave, and it can switch into something else or shift into something else, but only if you do that for yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? You can't change. You can't move through things if you don't acknowledge them. So that's, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, maybe we'll have time for one more.
I don't think we'll have time for one more even.
Okay. Okay. Well, okay. So you see, we could be doing this all day. and we do this actually all day. We do this with each other all day. I'm feeling a pain in my throat. Whose is it? Is it mine? Is it not mine? What's it about? And just even this is awareness, this awareness piece. You know, putting your hand on your heart, on your chest, on your lung, being aware of what's coming up for you and saying that something's going on in our body is really, really important. Sometimes it's an emotional piece, sometimes it's a physical piece. And so what we did today is we kind of showed you a little bit about this in order to provide you with some information, in order to move forward, in order to help you heal. And I'll be sending you the recording from this so you can listen to the meditation again. Do you want to have Tehilla, do you want to like either have go ahead.
I'm just, so the basis of spiritual awareness is being aware of the body. The body talks to us all the time, and that's why we were actually we understood that we actually need to. We've been doing up to now. We've been doing various events, but they haven't been connected. And what we've understood was that actually, in order to go through a meaningful process and growth, we actually have to create a program where we have different meetings, a different event, and we also work on you. We do remote energy cleaning. We work on you every day, every other day, and you get tasks and prompted every day to observe yourself. And we've actually been given this whole system, which is actually a program which we've kind of received, which we want to implement in order to help you raise your awareness and become more connected to your body and to yourself, and help you release all these different patterns. Because that's the basis for growth and evolution. First of all, the basis is awareness. So, Jodi, you want to talk more about it?
Yeah, and I think that for such a long time we've been discounting the body. We haven't been paying attention to the body. We've been feeling like the body is against us, or and so the intention for this, and for all this, for so many years I've been really focusing on the body. It's something that is so important to me. Being aware of the body, being aware of not just how you feel, but how you feel physically, emotionally, and energetically. And my experience has always been that we're aware, we've been taught, oh, my stomach hurts. Okay, I'm going to go to a doctor. Okay, I'm going to eat these foods. Now, while those might contribute to something, there's always an emotional or an energetic piece and component. So asking some specific questions, first of all, we carry things that aren't mine, aren't ours. If we're empaths or if we're sensitive people, you don't even know. You might walk into a room and all of a sudden you're carrying other things. Nobody even told you that that's a thing. Like nobody told me that that's a thing for most of my life. And so, we carry around other things from other people. Then we carry around things in our emotional body. We carry around things for the collective. We carry around all of these different types of things that nobody has made us aware of. And so when we think about our physical body, we oftentimes think that something's wrong with us, when in reality, it's quite possible that nothing's wrong with us. We just have to understand, where is the wrong coming from? Meaning, is this something from within inside me? Is this something from someone else? Is this something from a collective? Is this something? And then understanding what we're tapping into, how we're tapping into it. Is there understanding? Is there a reason that I'm tapping into this? And so then there's this thing around like putting some boundaries around ourselves, understanding our own needs, understanding what is going on, right? Like, what is our body telling us? Is it ours? Is it something that's connected to us, and how can we best use our bodies? And so we created a short program for right now, like a 2-week program that's basically we're going to meet 3 times, and we're going to be doing with a small group. And with a small group, so everybody gets more attention than 35 people, which you see that's impossible. That's kind of connected to like your specific pattern, what's going on in your specific body, looking at limiting beliefs, limiting patterns, tapping into your individual body, awareness, energy healing sessions, and all sorts of things like that, in order to carefully look at what's going on with you, what do you need in order to heal, and what do you need in order to move forward and to disconnect from an old pattern and move forward into a new pattern, using the body as a guide. And so the intention is we're going to be starting that after the holidays. At the end, on October 29th is going to be that first kind of class, and they're linked. So it's going to be 3 classes and 2 energy healings and a group chat and energy work that's going to be remote. So it's basically going to be 2 weeks of really deep, intensive healing and clearing to help your body heal and feel good in your body and gain awareness. So we're going to be emailing or sending some information around that you can click and sign up for that if that's something that you want to work on. And it's either if you're again sensitive, if this totally resonated with you, then this might be your thing. Like, this has been my thing for 20 years. This has been my thing. So, it might be your thing to listen to your body if you're in pain or discomfort, or you're just not feeling good in your body, and it's stuff that you've been trying to work on for a long time and it's not helping you. Then you might say, hey, there's something else, some other information that I need to know. And so the whole goal of this program is to help you bring awareness, clarity. We're going to help with energy clearing and give you intuitive guidance and direction to understand what's going on with your body, what's going on. Is it yours? Is it not yours? Is it ancestral? The different things that we know in order to kind of help you heal and then move forward out of that into a new space for healing and awareness for yourself and your body. And so we can post that, put that, we'll send an email for that. If it's in the Passion Project group, you can we'll post that there. And it's just something that we feel is so important because so many of us, the whole goal is we do so many different events. We do free events, we do energy healing events. On Thursday, we're going to be having like an energy clearing and meditation event. And that's a shorter event. That's a one-time thing where you can sign up and you get a meditation and energy healing as a group. And we do those things in order to help people. And so this is kind of like a more fuller program that allows you to feel like you're part of something to help yourself for basically two weeks or so. It's 2 weeks of work, but then even before, like as you kind of sign up, there's other things that are involved too. So again, the goal is really to help you and to guide each one of us to move forward into healing and feeling good within our bodies and understanding that our bodies are here to help us. So, so that's the intention for this. I don't know, you should be all in the group, or you'll be getting an email that you registered for that information. And yeah, anything else, or am I
I
missing?
just wanted to tie that all to because the whole idea of the Passion Project is basically to help each one of us connect to our higher self and bring our unique gift and light into the world. And in order to do that, so that's why we facilitate all these different events, because your unique life is something that only it's your unique gift that you can bring to the collective. And as we're, especially us as a Jewish nation, we're all interconnected. And it's been a rough year. And but the whole idea of this year is just like the body is basically a manifestation of the material world. But what happens in the material world is also something which is there in order to raise our awareness. So whatever happened during this year is actually there in order to help us wake up, make that shift into a space of unity and higher awareness, so we can just connect to our higher selves, connect to God, connect to the Jewish nation. And that's also the idea of Yom Kippur, where we actually, which is going to be on this coming Saturday. So we keep on thinking about Yom Kippur. It's about forgiving other people, but basically the main person that we need to forgive is ourselves. And our body doesn't forget. It stores all those things that we haven't worked through. So part of forgiving is not just we don't just forgive. It's about working through something, and once you've worked through something, you can truly forgive it. You can't just glaze over things. So your body doesn't allow you to glaze over things, and that's part of the idea that we would like you to come into this Yom Kippur from a place where you're not allowing yourself to glaze over things anymore. You're willing to look yourself in the eye, first of all, and acknowledge your pain and your difficulties without judging yourself. And the way you will treat yourself is also the way you will be looked at from above. So that's like the basic steps that we wanted to bring. Yeah.
Thank you all so
for everyone.
Thank you all for coming and for connecting and for being a part of this. We always hope to, provide these classes and workshops and different things like that. And please let us know if you found it meaningful or interesting, or if there's any feedback that you'd like to give. We always want to hear that, because that helps our programs grow and what we do grow and more. So thank you all for being a part of this and sharing your light with us. And we wish you all an easy fast. And
thank you so much.
yeah. Oh, thanks, Sylvia. So good to hear you. I was like,
I got actually very affected from the other people's things. I don't know.
yeah.
Like from when you see it other people, and I'm like, am I intuitive? Because if I'm a little intuitive.